Hey guys, today we've got a special treat for you. We're actually in Kitchen and Bath Galleries in downtown Cary. I'm excited to be here. This is my old stomping grounds. But today we really wanted to talk about different surfaces, kind of budget, what the new trends are coming up. And we've got a great designer here to help us with that. But I wanted to talk too, like, why are we standing in this store of all the kitchen and bath stores in our area? And I figured I could make this my top three, right? I love, numbers. So one, the customer service here is awesome. I have been working with them probably close to 15 years on a few different homes for us personally, and have always just been blown away by the level of service. And I think that's key, especially when you're getting into these kind of large scale projects. Two, they're actually locally owned, which I think is awesome. You guys all know how much we love supporting our local businesses here. And then the third thing is it's one of the few places in the area that's a one-stop shop. So from a convenience standpoint, you have got a plethora of options to choose from here. You've got some great group of folks to work with, and it really kind of keeps things easy. So today we get to visit with Melissa. She's one of the designers here at Kitchen and Bath Galleries. Melissa, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and what brought you here?
Sure. So I originally started in New York. I went to FIT for design and got my start there. Then I transitioned into AutoCAD and drafting courses, which led me into this industry. And I started that in New York and then moved down here about 3 years ago and been working with Kitchen and Bath Galleries ever since. So I've really enjoyed the atmosphere here.
So tell me a little bit about what do we have here?
So we have granite over here. In the middle we have quartz,
okay.
And then on the end here is quartzite, which is also a natural stone just like granite.
Okay. I'm not as familiar with that. Tell me a little bit about the quartzite.
Sure. So quartzite, like granite, is more of a porous natural stone.
Okay.
So it does need to be sealed. There's a little maintenance there, but it is not hard to do.
I mean, isn't it kind of like just waxing a car essentially?
It is. You are just spraying a solution on there and waxing it in until it absorbs it and you're sealed.
Okay. I really like that one a lot. That's pretty. It reminds me of marble. The other thing I noticed here too is, quartz seems to be all the craze here lately, right?
It is.
And I'm noticing on these, kind of like a different sheen. Can you talk to me a little bit about? I really like that this has
the
like that matte
finish.
Yeah.
Right. So a couple of companies have some certain colors that can have that either or. It comes in a polished finish versus a honed, and it has more of a matte natural stone look for it. Some colors may show more fingerprinting, with being more polished. So same maintenance across the board, and virtually maintenance free as far as quartz goes. It's very durable.
So why would someone pick like quartz, let's say, over a granite?
So just the durability factor. There really is no extra cleaning involved, whereas in granite you want to just make sure you're cleaning up those spills and things like that pretty much right away, so they're not kind of seeped into the stone and cause a stain over time. This really is great for people who have a busy lifestyle, kids, things that are going to be kind of left on the countertop. You really don't have to worry about it.
Oh, that's cool to know. So like with olive oil or something like that, this will be less
It'll
absorbent.
wipe right up the same, no matter how long it's on there.
Neat.
Another great thing about it is that it's heat resistant, scratch resistant, and like we just talked about, stain resistant.
That's pretty cool. I love this soapstone. Other thing too, I mean, we're sitting on this nice wood, kind of butcher block island. Tell me a little bit about when someone would want to use this, or what's kind of the disadvantages and advantages of a wood product.
Right. So a lot of people like to do it on their island, just kind of as an accent piece. Maybe if it's not your main workspace, there are different types of sealers and top coats that you can do that do protect it more. It does need to be oiled, just kind of taken care of. But for the most part, the sealants kind of do their job, and you can work on it but it's more so just popular as island pieces and things like that,
Okay.
or cut-in butcher blocks that people can
Yeah.
prep right on, and they know it's going to get, you know, cuts in it, and they're fine with it.
That's cool. Talk a little bit about, you know, how do these kind of stack up to one another in cost?
Right, so that is a big factor. So a lot of so granite typically is cheaper than
Okay.
a quartz. It just also depends on what level granite you're at.
Yeah.
So maybe if you're in a 4 or 5 level granite, you're starting to kind of creep up to being comparable in cost to quartz.
Okay.
Quartz do also have some variants there depending on color, and they've come up with new series and things like that that are looking more like natural stone, so those are going to be more costly.
Yeah, I think if I maybe heard correctly, like the more solid the quartz is, the more expensive that can tend to be, like solid in color.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
If it's got, you know, minimal veining and things like this that sort of look like real marble or soapstone, it's going to be a little bit out there. Versus something that's maybe a tighter pattern that was very popular years ago, but now we're going with the looser patterns.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about what trends you guys are seeing. Are we going to be stuck with grays and whites the rest of this year?
Not necessarily. It's been very big. It still is that classic look that we see a lot of, but we're definitely seeing a lot more interest in some warmth,
Okay.
so a little bit of color, just some pops of color for fun, a lot of islands like that, but overall just moving in the more of a warmer direction.
Okay.
Not so much white on white. You know.
So do you think we'll see a little bit more kind of the creams, maybe the
I
beiges
do.
coming back in? Okay.
This color palette is kind of where we're, you know,
Okay.
now kind of stepping into instead of just more of a solid white or a marble look.
Yeah. Any other trends that you've been seeing, like as far as like maybe tile choices? Have those gotten
Tile also
bolder?
is, yeah, there's some people who are doing more of an accent wall, or if they've got a chimney hood kind of going all the way up to the ceiling with just some decorative tile.
I've seen
Again,
that a lot
moving
lately.
a little bit away from that subway tile look. I
Okay.
think that a lot of people did that, and it is beautiful. It's simple
Yeah,
and classic,
yeah.
but people are kind of moving a little bit more towards the decorative
Yeah.
aspect, a little bit more of maybe their personality.
Yeah, I like this one a lot with the different.
Still
I guess-
clean lines, really, you know, simple, but neat. Nice handmade tile.
So we've kind of touched on the trends, touched on the different types of surfaces. Of course, everyone always wants to know, you know, what kind of budget should we be working with when we get into these type of projects, recognizing there are a ton of different scales with that, but
Right.
is there a good rule of thumb or something that would kind of help
Typically-
someone think?
Typically, we tell people it's a good number to have in mind for a full kitchen renovation, 10 to 15% of the cost of their home.
And you're talking about going down to the studs, like
Just
taking everything out and
Yes.
restarting. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So it, like you said, it can vary just depending on what materials you're choosing. Are you doing all the cabinets? Are are you keeping your appliances? Things like that. That'll
Okay.
just range that budget.
Okay. If someone were looking to do kind of like a easy upfit, I mean, what are the things that you would kind of guide someone on? Let's say they do have a little bit more dated cabinet, but you know, obviously don't have the budget for a 10 to 15%, you know, house value type remodel. What are the things that you would recommend to kind of help uplift the kitchen, so to speak?
With keeping their cabinetry, or
Yeah, I think keeping the
Yeah,
cabinets.
so there are some options on refinishing cabinetry. We know some great people out there in the field that do a really nice job. So
Okay.
if you just want to update your countertops and maybe your backsplash, or a lot of people didn't have a backsplash before, so that's a really nice thing to kind of add and freshen up. But yeah, refinishing would kind of be the way
Okay.
people would keep that.
And I think you just, again, one of the main reasons why I've always enjoyed working with you guys is because it is a one-stop shop. So I love how you said you guys have the contacts to kind of help with those projects.
Yes.
Another cool thing, you know, with them too, is they really oversee the project from start to finish if, you know, if that's a service that someone wants. You guys all know that I love kitchens. Well, maybe I might be slightly obsessed with them, but one of my favorite things that I think is a great way to change up a look of a space is hardware. And oh my gosh, this room in here is fabulous. There are about, I don't know, 1,000 different pulls in here. I could spend hours in here picking out the different selections, but I will say one that's really cool that they pointed out, you know, you're seeing kind of metals with marble. I think this is one of their newer boards in here, and kind of getting a little bit more artsy with the hardware. But this is a great place that you could have some fun, put some pops of color. I saw some really cool crystal knobs over here even. I'm all about, you know, fun pops of color. These I think are really cute too.